Hi everyone, welcome to today's yoga class. I decided that I'm going to be focusing on our hips today. So go ahead, grab your yoga mat, grab your blocks if you have them, water bottle, coffee, wine, whatever floats your boat, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So just like yesterday, you have the option if you'd like to start with me in a seated Shavasana, or if you'd like to go ahead and lie down. Choice is completely yours. Just remember to find a really comfortable position. So again, if that means taking a block, sitting on it if you're coming into a seated position, or if you're laying down in your Shavasana, feel free to leave your socks on for now, wrap yourself up in a blanket, place an eye pillow over your eyes, whatever you need to just kind of let go. So as you slowly start to find that comfortable position, we're going to go ahead and get started with our breath. So go ahead and close your eyes here. And start to take those really nice, beautiful cleansing breaths in and out through your nose. As you start to let go. Pulling those shoulders back and down, relaxing your jaw, perhaps parting your lips, just letting everything go. Once again, letting go of anything that happened before you arrived on your mat today. Letting go of anything that's to come. And just take this time for yourself. Take this time to breathe and just really connect with your body during our short yoga practice together. As you inhale, really feeling that belly rise as it fills up with air. And then as you exhale, drawing your belly button in towards your side or towards your spine, melting in, closer to the mat, closer to the earth. Seeing if you can match the length and depth of your inhales with your exhales, just finding your own rhythm here. Seeing how expansive you can make that breath. So as you inhale, feeling that air entering your belly, perhaps your ribs up to your chest. And then exhaling in that order, chest, ribs, belly. Trying to make each breath even longer than the last. Just keep letting go. As we take a few more breaths here in your Shavasana, you can use this time to set an intention for yourself for today's practice. Something that you want to remind yourself of. Or perhaps a mantra is better suited for you today. Just a saying that you can keep in the back of your mind, a gentle reminder, such as I am strong, I am peaceful, I am calm. So whatever that is, whether it's an intention or a mantra, think about what you'd like that to be. Send breath to that thought and allow it to guide you through our practice today. Go ahead and take 3 more nice big full breaths here in your relaxation. after that third breath, go ahead and start to bring awareness back into the space that you're in, back into your body. You can start wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, starting to circle your wrists and your ankles, and gently moving your head from side to side, releasing any tension or stress you might be carrying in your neck. If you're in a seated position, we're going to use this opportunity to come and lie down on our backs. So if you're sitting on a block, you can gently remove it. Come into a comfortable reclined position, extending both legs out long. And just rest here for a moment. Maybe even doing a quick body scan, noticing how you're feeling today. Noticing any areas of tightness or discomfort, not judging them, just simply noticing. And on your next breath, gently bringing both knees into your chest, wrapping your arms around your legs, and you can start to gently rock from side to side. Releasing your spine, giving it a really nice massage here. Then placing your hands on top of your knees, I'd like you to bring your big toes to touch, and you can start to circle those knees, open and closed in one direction. Little circles if your hips are feeling exceptionally tight today. Nice big circles if you have the space. And then go ahead and switch to the opposite direction. Once again, just noticing, not judging how you're feeling, how different parts of your body are feeling. One more nice big full breath here. And then go ahead, plant the soles of your feet down on your mat. I'd like you to bring your feet mat distance, or if you're taller than about 5'7", you're gonna go wider than mat distance here. Taking your right hand, placing it on your right thigh, you're slowly gonna bring that right knee down towards the left side of the room, not changing that foot placement at all. Once you can't move it any further, lifting up that left foot, placing it on top of your right knee, and bringing it down the rest of the way. This is where blocks can come in handy. If that knee isn't quite connecting all the way down, you can place a block just to get grounded. Arms can come into cactus or T. Feel free to bring your gaze up or gaze to the right. Holding here for a couple of breaths. Trying to stay grounded. On your next breath, you can go ahead, gently remove a block if you have one, releasing that left foot, bringing everything back to center, and you can go ahead and windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Just loosening up those hips a little bit more here. And then we're gonna go ahead and switch to the other side. So left hand comes onto your left thigh, slowly pushing down, left knee coming towards the right side of the room. Once again, lifting up that right foot this time, placing it on top. Just again, noticing how tight your hips are, noticing how close that right knee is to the ground. And if it's sitting up here, you might want to grab 1 or 2 blocks to place underneath. So you go ahead and gaze in the opposite direction if you wish. One more nice big full breath. And then slowly removing that block if you have one underneath you. Go ahead and release that right foot. Bring everything back to center. Once again, go ahead, windshield wiper from side to side here. Great job, everyone. On your next breath, I'd like you to bring both knees into your chest. Go ahead and cross your ankles, grabbing onto your big toes if possible, and you're gonna go ahead and rock yourself up into a seated position. So it might take a couple of tries. Take your time to get yourself all the way here. And once you're in your seated position, you're gently just gonna come roll forward into that nice tabletop. So I'm gonna demo this from the side once again as we go through our cat-cows here. So we're starting with that nice flat back. Once again, shoulders over wrists, hips are over your knees. Inhale, tilting that pelvis up and back, arching your spine, gaze comes up. Exhale, pushing all 10 fingers into your mat, rounding your upper back, look towards your belly button. Inhale, tilting up and back, squeezing those shoulder blades together, and exhale. Continuing this with your own breath, going as fast or as slow as you need to. And once again, any movements that feel good here, you're gonna go ahead and do them. So whether it's some gentle hip circles, making sure we always go in both directions, or maybe it's coming back into a child's pose and then coming forward. So just small movements, waking up your body, especially if this is your first workout of the day. You can gently release your hips from side to side, seeing if they can connect perhaps with the mat or with the ground. And when you're ready, we're gonna come back into that tabletop. So making sure we have a nice flat back. We're gonna go through some hip cars for mobility. So you're gonna go ahead and bring that right knee forward slightly. You're gonna open it up to the right side. So think fire hydrant. You're gently gonna bring that foot straight out behind you. And then you're gonna sweep it forward to where we started. So forward, out to the side, go ahead behind you, and come back. So we're gonna go ahead and do a few rotations of this. Go ahead and do it with your own breath. But the idea is you do wanna go nice and slow here. We're trying to isolate the hip in its socket. So taking your time, this is a great mobility exercise for you to do, honestly, on a daily basis. It used to be part of my physio program. It's something that I still do constantly. And then we're gonna go ahead and switch opposite direction this time. So same leg. So you're gonna bring that right knee back this time, open it out to the side, and then bring it forward. So you're gonna continue this once again with your own breath, readjusting if you need to. And if this is tough on your shoulders, go ahead, take a break, shake it out. You can even use your knuckles instead of your hands if this is more comfortable. But I want you to keep going. So really feeling that hip as it goes through this motion. And then when you're ready, we're gonna go ahead and switch sides. So I'm gonna go ahead and demo on this side. So once again, finding that nice flat back in your tabletop. You're gonna bring that left knee forward, opening it out to the side, go behind you, and swing it forward again. So continuing with your own breath here, trying to keep that back as still as possible. So if I were to place something on your back, it wouldn't fall. You can even test it by placing your own yoga block on your back and making sure it's not going anywhere. Go ahead and do one more rotation here. And then we're going to go the opposite direction. So going back, opening out to the side, and coming forward. Making sure those shoulders are still stacked above those wrists. Keep going, you're doing great. And when you're ready, you can come back into nice flat back. We'll go through another round of cat-cows here. Just noticing how your spine is feeling. And then from here, we're gonna come into a nice wide-legged child's pose. So bringing your knees out to your sides. Go ahead and sink back. Hands reaching forward. Just melt into your mat here. Beautiful. On your next breath, you can slowly start to walk your fingertips towards your body. Slowly start to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Your head comes up last. And then we're going to go ahead and meet in your downward facing dog. So take your time to get there. Remembering, tight hamstrings means that your heels might not end up planted on your mat. Mine won't. The goal is to get those hips up nice and tall. So start by pedaling out your heels here. You might get some cracks and crackles. And then finding your version of your down dog. You're gonna go ahead and roll forward into that high plank. Come back, downward facing dog. Look towards your hands and walk your feet to the top of your mat. As you inhale, coming up halfway, nice flat back here. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, sweeping those hands all the way up to the sky. And exhale to bring your hands to your heart. Adjusting your feet, making sure they're hip distance. Big sweep up as you inhale. And then exhale to fold. Inhale, coming up halfway. And as you exhale, plant your hands. I'm going to demo this from the side. Step back into that high plank. Option to lower down onto your knees, or you can stand nice and tall as you hinge at your elbows, coming in either into a baby cobra, so elbows bent, or into an up dog. So my arms are straight, but no matter what, my elbows are glued to my sides. Pulling those shoulders back and down here. Don't forget to breathe. And when you're ready, tucking those toes, lifting up those hips, downward facing dog. Go ahead and inhale that right heel high to the sky. And as you exhale, bend that right knee, swing that foot between your hands. If it doesn't make it, you're gonna grab it with your hand, pull it forward. Drop that left knee down, just coming into a nice gentle low lunge to start. Option, arms can come up, pulling those shoulders back and down here. On your next breath, you're gonna go ahead and walk your fingertips down. You're gonna start to now walk them back as you lift those toes off the ground. So we're trying to straighten our front leg here, getting a really nice hamstring stretch. Now, if the splits is part of your practice, this is where you can start to bring that back knee down and try to come into that half split. Otherwise, you're staying here with me. Hands can come onto blocks if you wish, or you can leave them right where they are. Trying to find your zen, Next breath, bringing a knee bend back into that front knee. You're gonna just slowly bring that right knee to meet your left, and we're just gonna go ahead and bring that left foot forward. So same thing, your back knee is down on your mat. Arms can come out to the sides, hands can come up. On your next breath, you can gently bring your hands down, start walking them back as you lift the left toes up off your mat. Once again, if a half split or a full split is in your practice, this is where you can bring that back knee back. Go ahead and do your thing. So that means you, Justin. Remembering to stay with that breath. I know it's tough to do. I know a lot of us have distractions. There's kids playing in the background. For me, there's a puppy barking incessantly in the background, but just keep going. You got this. Next breath, slowly walking those fingertips back. You're gonna go ahead and plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog. Next breath, look towards your hands, walk or hop to the top of your mat. As you inhale, you can go ahead and come up halfway, and exhale to fold. Inhale, sweeping all the way up, gaze follows your hands, and exhale to bring your hands to your heart once more. As you inhale, nice big sweep up, and exhale, fold. Inhale, coming up halfway, and exhale to plant your hands, step or hop back into that high plank, lowering down onto your knees if you wish, otherwise stay with me as you lower into your chaturanga, up dog or cobra, downward facing dog. This time, inhaling that right heel high to the sky, exhale, bending that right knee, sweeping it through. If you'd like, you can drop that back knee down, or you can stay up high here. As we come into our Alanasana, our crescent lunge, go ahead and bring your arms into cactus. Just gets you a little bit of a gentle back bend here. One more really nice big full breath. And then go ahead and bring those hands down, step back, downward facing dog. Taking a moment to pedal out your heels if you'd like. Before you inhale that left heel high up, exhale, swinging it through. Once again, you can drop that right knee down or stay here with me. Arms start up, option to come into your cactus arms. Slight back bend as your gaze comes up. Keeping that back heel off your mat. And on your next breath, go ahead and bring those hands down, step back into your down dog, lowering into a child's pose. Taking a sip of water if you'd like. Just reconnecting with your breath here. Reconnecting with that intention that you set. And then slowly starting to walk those hands towards your body. Once again, rolling up slowly as we meet in a downward facing dog. Taking your time to get there. From your down dog, look towards your hands. You can step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping those hands all the way up to the sky. And exhale to bring your hands to heart center. So we're gonna come into our Tadasana, our mountain pose. So I'd like you to bring your feet mat distance. You're gonna tuck that pelvis in so your back isn't fully arched. You're gonna pull your shoulders back and down. Go ahead and close your eyes here. I want you to feel all 10 toes rooting into your mat, rooting into the earth. They say this is one of the strongest poses in a yoga practice because it requires a lot of strength and stability. The weight is evenly distributed from toes to midfoot to heels. You're not swaying, you're not shifting. You are firmly planted. Take this moment to find those grounding breaths. Feel the strength that you have within yourself. Feel that power. These aren't easy times that we're living in right now, so it's up to you to find that power within yourself, to find that breath, to find that amazing strength, because it is in all of you. Holding in our mountain pose for 3 more breaths. On your next breath, you can go ahead and open your eyes as you sweep your hands all the way up to the sky. And exhale, bringing your hands to your heart. We're gonna go ahead and do that 2 more times. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Last one. Inhale, sweeping those hands all the way up. And exhale to release. I'd like you to go ahead and widen your stance as we come into our Malasana squat before we come into our seated position. So your feet are just about mat distance, toes are pointed out. I'm gonna count you down so you can go ahead and bring your hands to your heart, no cheating. We're gonna slowly go ahead and lower to my count of 5, 4, please don't beat me down, 3, 2, and 1. So when we're here, you might need to readjust a little bit. I'd like you to pop those knees open with your elbows. You're gonna sit up nice and tall so we're not hunched down here. Chest is proud. If this is too much, you can sit on a block, you can sit on a book, anything that you have handy. You're still gonna get the benefit of the stretch of this hip opening, even with something underneath you. But if you're able to, try to stay up here, at least just for a few breaths. So trying to find the stillness. Maybe this is a great time to reconnect with that intention that you set for yourself. Focus on that. And if arm balances are in your practice, this is a great time to come into a crow pose. So if arm balances are not in your practice, you can go ahead and stay right where you are, or you're gonna come with me. So you're gonna gently lift up your hips, placing your hands down about 1.5 feet in front of you. You're gonna come onto your toes, slowly push the weight into your hands as you lift both feet off of your mat. Bring your big toes to touch, and then your gaze comes forward. So I'll demonstrate what that looks like from the side. So once again, I'm starting here. Hands come down, slowly pushing the weight into my fingers, into my whole hand, and then I'm lifting off. Seeing how long you can hold here. If this is too much on your shoulders, you're gonna go ahead and come out. Whatever it is you choose, find that breath, find that connection. We're gonna go ahead and take 3 more nice big breaths here. After that third and final breath, you're gently just gonna sit back, bring the soles of your feet together. So we're gonna just come into a seated bound angle, so our Baddha Konasana pose. You can either hinge at your hips and you're gonna feel a really nice groin stretch here, or you can just relax everything down and let your head hang. So you're gonna decide what works best for you. Either way, inhale to sit up nice and tall, and then exhale to come into whatever type of version of this pose you'd like. You can place a block between your feet and your head if you wish, just to find that connection. One more really nice big full breath here. As you slowly start to roll up, one vertebrae at a time, placing the soles of your feet flat in front of you. We're going to go ahead and do a nice gentle windshield wiper from side to side. Once again, just noticing how those hips are feeling as we get ready for our final relaxation here. So if at any point you'd like to do your own Shavasana, which is longer than ours, you can go ahead, press pause, and come into your own relaxation. Otherwise, you can stay with me for the next couple of minutes as I guide you down. From here, starting in a nice seated position, once again, you're gonna roll down slowly all the way down onto your mat, taking your time, trying not to thump at the very bottom. So just going really nice and slow until you make it all the way here. And then I'm gonna give you the next few breaths to do any final movements that your body needs before we come into our final Shavasana. I love Happy Baby, it's one that I definitely recommend. So take the next minute, go through those movements, and then get yourself settled. This is a great opportunity as well to put your socks back on, grab a sweater or a blanket, and get ready for that final relaxation. So taking the next few breaths to get whatever you need, I'm gonna go ahead and grab the puppy, and she and I are gonna talk you through the starting Shavasana. So So as you start to slow down those breaths, you decide if you want to be in a seated position or in a reclined position. As you find that resting point, whether you're seated or whether you're lying down, making sure you're relaxing your jaw, releasing your tongue from the roof of your mouth, perhaps once again pulling those shoulders back and down. And for one last time, just letting everything go. I'd like you to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you wish. I only ask that when you do come up, you do so carefully and mindfully, rolling over onto one side before you come all the way back up. I'd like to sincerely thank each and every one of you for allowing me to guide you through your practice today. It's been my absolute honor to get to spend this time with you. From the bottom of my heart and from my energy to yours, namaste.